Morning, I hear the blowers out. It's Friday. It must be Gardener's Day in the neighborhood. So I'm hearing just blowers going everywhere. Friday, February 18th. I'm going to go visit a piece of music an album that I worked on back in 2008. That was such an absolute treat for me. Now, since day one, I have been like a massive Tower of Power fan. There's been, a number of incarnations throughout the years where different, lead singers with the group have been in, including Ellis Hall, who I covered many videos ago, and is a dear friend. But in 2008, I got called to do an album that's called Doc Goes Hollywood, and it's Stephen Doc Kupka, who's the baritone sax player in Tower Power. He and Emilio Castillo were really two of the founding members of Tower Power and wrote most of the Tower Power songs. He's really a strong writer. And so I got called to do this album, so I was thrilled because I knew Doc. I had, our paths had crossed many times and we'd hung out. So to be able to do a project with him was really fun. So I got put together my copious notes on this one. There's a lot of information on this one. The album was produced by Doc Kupka and William Ross. And William is a tremendous, he's really a fine arranger and producer, and he's done like all kinds of stuff, the Academy Awards and all kinds of stuff. Bill Ross is a big deal in our business. So it was produced by Doc and William. William did the arranging on it. It was engineered by Tim Bryson. It was mixed by the great Al Schmidt and mastered by the great Ron McMaster. I always loved that Ron McMaster was a mastering engineer. And he had a room over at Capitol Records where he worked. And every time I worked at Capitol, I'd always go hang out in his room with him. And it was just really, really fun to be with him. He was a really cool guy. Now, the vocals on these songs were by John Lee Sanders. When I've done the gig at the Library of Congress for ASCAP called We Write the Songs, which we're still hoping will come back. The past 2 years we haven't had it because of COVID, but we did many years before that. And on a number of those, John was was part of the band, but he would sing, play keyboards, guitar, sax. I mean, the guy's like ridiculous on everything he does. And it's worth looking him up if you get a hankering. Go check out John Lee Sanders on Wikipedia. And he's a fascinating guy. So he was on vocals. It was myself, the great David Garibaldi from Tower of Power playing drums, Ray Oviedo on guitar, and the wonderful Chris Caswell, who's the musical director for the gig we do at the Library of Congress. And Chris has been around forever. We did the Muppet movies together and all kinds of stuff. And he's played on Judith Owens' music. He's playing piano, organ, and soprano accordion on this. Then on top of that, we have the William Ross Orchestra. They're not listed individually on this, but it's the orchestra that he puts together for his projects. And then we have Lee Thornburg, who I've worked with forever. All the first tours I did with Veronique Sanson in France, Lee was on trumpet on those gigs, and we've done tons of sessions together. He's playing trumpet, trombone, and flugelhorn on this, and Mick Gillette is playing trumpet, trombone, and flugelhorn and tuba on this. The wonderful Nick Lane is playing trombone, and Nick was also part of the horn section for Veronique Sanson. David Woodford is playing tenor sax and flute. I see. I wrote it down wrong. The Paul Colicchio is playing tenor sax, alto sax, flute, and clarinet. Doc Kupka is playing baritone sax, as he always does. And synth harp are Robert Irving. Now, the first song I'm going to play is called They Don't Make 'Em Like You Anymore, was written by Doc Kupka, Emilio Castillo, and Frank Beiner. And then the second song, So Now I Have to Drink Alone, was written by Doc Kupka. But it was a really cool project and kind of unexpected, because I've done a couple of things where we copped into the Tower of Power kind of vibe, which was always amazing, because anytime you even got close to anything that had to do with David Garibaldi and Rocco Prestia, one of the best rhythm sections ever. I mean, the loss of Rocco was so stunning and heartbreaking, because boy, he set the standard for that kind of funk music that just, it's hard to touch. And I remember doing a couple of projects, and they had transcriptions of his stuff for me to play, and I was just going, "Are you fucking kidding me?" He's like, "God, give me a break." He was so good. I loved him. So, but this is all, this is all orchestral, very lush. Real interesting. It was a real interesting project. So I'm going to play a couple of the songs from it. This one's called "They Don't Make 'Em Like You Anymore." And this is Doc Goes Hollywood with John Lee Sanders and the William Ross Orchestra, which I am proud on this to have been a part of. So here we go.
Who can figure it? Who even wants to try? Since normal boundaries don't apply, you define description, space and time. Just like...
Oh, please. Please don't do this. Commercials. Jesus Christ. I'm going back to the top. I'm sorry.
Can figure it? Who even wants to try? Since normal boundaries don't apply, you define description, space and time. Just like a Stradivarius violin, like a symphony by Beethoven. You're a very precious gem. They don't make 'em like you anymore. You got that classic quality, so rare, timeless kind of flair. When they made you, they broke the mold. Aesop's fables, fairy tales, happy endings from magic spells. Who needs those? We've got our own tale to tell, so timeless as well. Just like a Stradivarius violin, like a symphony by Beethoven. You're a very precious gem. They don't make 'em like you anymore. No, just like a master, the craftsman chooses his trade. It's with pride I'm here to say that I love you and I always will. There's no one else who's quite like you. Your inner beauty comes shining through, that combined with my thoughts
of a nice way just to slip into the weekend here. There's elements of his voice too that remind me a little bit of Zevon. There's a vibrato thing that happens and stuff. And I just, oh, Warren, there's a little Warren in there. John's a trip. He's a really cool guy. Really love working with him. He's got a really nice hat on and stuff when he's working. Okay, this is one of Doc's songs, and this is called So Now I Have to Drink Alone. Here we go.
And I had a sweetheart who meant the world to me. Still one day she left me, I guess.
Oh, please.
So you want to know?
Jesus, what the hell is going on today with these? I guess going into the weekend, they want to shove as many down our throats as they can. Sorry, I'm just muting it. Here we go. Start over again. Sorry, folks.
And I had a sweetheart who meant the world to me. Still one day she left me, I guess she couldn't see. Oh no, so now I have to drink alone, think alone, cry by the phone. So now I have to fend for myself. Here's a toast to you and whoever you be toasting to. So now I have to drink alone, all by myself. I'm on my own. So now I have to care for myself. Here's to better days I can remember through the haze. If I threw a party and nobody came, I'd party with my own self. I'd party just the same, the same. So now I have to drink alone, to ease the pain, to feel the glow. So now I have to fix my own drinks. Here's 2 days gone by before you left and said goodbye. If I threw a party and nobody showed, I'd party with my own self. No one would have to know. Oh no. I have to drink alone. Once I began, I keep right on going to try to reach oblivion. What is done is done. I wish the drinking was still fun. And I had a sweetheart who meant the world to me. Still one day she left me, I guess she couldn't see.
So that's Doc Kupka presents Doc Goes Hollywood from 2008. There's a bunch of great songs on this album. It's just I wasn't sure when I got. I can take these off. The music's over now. Put my other glasses on here. There we go. Oh, it's daytime. I see. All of a sudden, I wasn't sure what to expect when I got called to do it because I'm so used to like the Tower Power funk stuff and all that. I was really pleasantly surprised to get in and find these kind of lush orchestral arrangements and songs to be working on. So check it out if you want. It's really a lovely album, and please check out John Lee Sanders. He's got some great music. His blues stuff is really incredible. He's a very eclectic artist, and well worth visiting his music too. So that's that for today, and just another little adventure down my musical rabbit hole, as they say. But I'm going to get going. I got to run over to Blues now and pick up some prints that were ordered that he's done, and make a delivery to the post office with some books and the prints when I get back home, and sign them and send those off. And lots of things. And then I've got the plumbers coming this afternoon to resolve that issue with the downspouts snaking out lines and stuff so that I don't get a flooded basement again. Never ends. But the thing I'm really excited about is 1 week from today, we get to see a rough cut of the Immediate Family documentary film. And none of us have a clue. We have not seen 1 second of footage on this. So it's going to be really fascinating to sit down and see what Denny Tedesco, who did the Wrecking Crew movie, has come up with on us. We've been working on this a few years now. I mean, it slowed down dramatically because of COVID, because for interviews and stuff, a lot of people that were lined up for interviews were suddenly not comfortable with the idea of even a small film crew being around them. So everything's been accomplished. It just was on a much kind of more drawn out scale. But it'll be real interesting to see it. It probably will not be the final cut by any means, but they said it's finally to the point where they want us to see it, so we know what's going on and if we have any suggestions or comments on it. So I'm excited about that. It's going to be great. And other than that, things again are opening up. Lots of mandates are being dropped now because numbers have gone down somewhat, but numbers aren't down to nothing. So please still be cognizant of this and be careful. Wearing a mask is not the hardest thing in the world. Why people find it to be such a slam on their personal freedoms when all it's meant to do is keep them alive and healthy and the people around them. But so be cognizant of your surroundings. Get vaccinated. That's really the safest thing you can possibly do for your well-being is get a vaccination. Get the shots, get the boosters, and you will, even if you get sick, walk away from this, without any terrible ramifications. If you don't do it and you get sick, it could just be like my friend who just passed away this week. It's not worth the chance. So I worry about everybody. I'm a worry wart, okay? So I care about you, and I want you to be well, and I want us to be here for a long time. So all my best wishes. Thank you, all of the people, especially in healthcare, who have just been working for a couple of years now relentlessly, and their dedication to their calling is just remarkable. So all my best, everybody. I'll see you all tomorrow. Okay, bye.